Imagine this. You get up today. It is a special day. Today, you are getting a key to a house. But this time, it's not just another rental key. It's your house, the place you call home and create memories for years to come. But for most people today, this feels like, an impossible dream. Home prices have just skyrocketed, while our wages feel like they stayed flat. It is time to say out loud, and for me to admit that the traditional path isn't working anymore. Hi, I'm Amir. If you're new here, welcome. Nice to meet you. If you have seen me before, thank you for coming back, and I really appreciate your trust and support. For 30 years, I've ran global operations and mentored over 1,000 people toward meaningful lives. And owning a home is a huge part of that journey. It was and is for my wife and myself. It's our sanctuary where we build our life with family and friends. And in this video, I'll share 4 strategies to make home ownership possible, even in today's market. Before we start, here's my challenge to you. Don't dismiss any by saying, this will not work for me. Instead, ask, how could I make this work? Will that work for you? Amazing. Let's dive in. Idea number 1. Buy with a friend. Split housing costs. Let me start with 2 creative ideas that might sound a bit, out there, but let's explore them. Do you remember your college days or the first time you shared a house with a friend? Every bill was split. Internet, electricity, groceries, everything was cheaper because you shared the cost. Well, this idea takes that concept full speed ahead. Many years ago, before buying my first house, I remember talking with friends about how amazing it would be if houses just cost half. We never really took it to the next step, but maybe you can. Here's the approach. Buy a house together with a friend or family member. Instead of handling the down payment, mortgage, and maintenance alone, you split everything, which might mean you can finally afford to buy. I believe there are 2 main ways to do this. 1, buy a single house together and share the space. And 2, buy a duplex. You live in one unit and they live in the other. I hear you. I know what you're thinking. I was thinking the same many years ago. What about the risks? What happens if you have a falling out, financial dispute? Or what if your friend loses their job and suddenly you're on the hook for covering everything? You see, yes, these are real risks you need to plan for. You'll need proper legal agreement, exit strategies, financial backup plans, and yes, you need to evaluate what this friendship is. But this might be you and your friend's path to that first home. Build equity for 5 years, 7 years, then sell, take your profits and buy your own place. I'll dive deep into the pros and cons of this specific approach in the next week's video, but for now, let's move to the next creative idea. Idea number 2, buy and rent rooms to cover housing costs. Have you ever stayed in an Airbnb? I'm sure you have. You see, this idea takes the Airbnb concept to its original promise. Share your space with others while making money to afford your place. This approach became super popular as houses prices just went berserk, everywhere. It has a fun name, househacking. Here's how it works. Instead of buying a 1-bedroom, you buy a 2 or maybe 3-bedroom place. Then you have 2 paths. 1, rent a room kind of like long term. Basically, it's like having a roommate, except that you're the owner. Or the second one is rent rooms short term through platform like Airbnb. In both cases, that extra income helps cover your mortgage payments and your property tax. Just imagine your mortgage is $2,500 a month, but you're collecting $800 or maybe $1,200 from roommates. Suddenly, home ownership becomes much more affordable. Sweet, right? There's a downside. You're sharing your space, at least part-time. But honestly, it can be fun. At least for some of us. It can be fun to meet people from around the world or just having someone to talk to. You need to screen tenants carefully to avoid, let's just call them unfun times. And unlike the first idea, you do need to pay the full down payment and you are liable for all costs, but you will own the place and you will have flexibility and you'll be generating income to help with those housing costs. So those were the two creative approaches. Now let's move to something a bit more traditional, but this one will require you to be location flexible. Idea number 3, relocate to a more affordable area. You love where you live. Maybe it's your hometown, your college state, or, just where all your friends are. It's the place you want to be, but you can't afford to live there. I know this feeling. After working on 3 continents, I found a place I loved, but it was just too expensive. So I relocated temporarily to a cheaper place. So we can build our finances so we could eventually live where we wanted. And that's idea number 3, relocating to a more affordable area. For me, it meant moving to a different state, but it could just be a cheaper area within your current state. Moving is difficult. It is. I don't want to leave my friends. It is difficult to leave your friends. I'll have to start over, new doctors, new gyms, new routines, driver license. Well, I know, it's all true. And on top of these worries, there's a big question. Your job. Can you keep it remote? Can you find something similar in the new location? I admit there are many, many reasons why not to do it. But here are some reasons that I gave myself before moving of why you should consider it. You just save significantly more money each month. You can actually afford your first home. Maybe a starter home in your location costs $1 million. Well, hello, California and New York, but only $200,000 in your new location. And you're setting yourself up for a better financial future while gaining, new life experiences. Here's one. I remember the first heat wave with this crazy hail dropping ice the size of golf balls in my new state. I said, it was definitely an experience. Here's a fun challenge. If you had to choose a new place to live, where would it be? What would you need to do today to make it happen? I would just love to hear your take on any location in the comments below. So we've covered 3 ideas that require significant life changes. This last one is a different one. It might sound a bit disappointing because it's kind of like more conservative, but it does have a strategic twist. Idea number 4, delay purchase strategically. Remember the famous experience with kids and marshmallows? Kids were given 1 marshmallow and told that if they waited and didn't eat that marshmallow, they'd get a second one. What do you think happened? Well, most of them struggled, and yes, they ate it anyway. Stupid waiting. This last idea is the marshmallow strategy, but with a twist. I know this might sound disappointing. It's about waiting to get the house you want. But this isn't just about sitting around hoping for price to drop or, winning the lottery. Hey, I tried that. Didn't work. This is about doing something strategic while you wait. First, calculate how many months do you need to save for your down payment. Remember, for first-time buyers, it can be as low as 3.5% or 5% in the US. Yes, the number might be upsetting, but just write it down. Second, figure out the gap between your current rent and your future housing costs. Maybe you pay $2,000 in rent, but your mortgage and property taxes will be $4,000 a month. Now that you have these numbers, here are 3 ways to bridge that gap. Number 1, save more by cutting expenses. Maybe cook more at home or reduce entertainment spending. 2, earn more by asking for a raise or starting a side hustle. Put your saving from earning or saving in money market account, earning 4 or 5% annually. I know this might sound really upsetting and challenging. Waiting, saving more, working harder, not fun. But imagine the incredible story you'll tell when you invite people to your home and share the journey that got you there. I really hope one of these 4 strategies sparked, something for you. Maybe a completely different approach to pursuing your dream. Which idea did you like the most? What other creative strategies have you tried? If this video helped you see new possibilities, please hit, like and subscribe. It really helps me reach more people who, yes, need some of these ideas. And, until our next time together, may you live a remarkable life.